Good morning. Good morning. Sorry. Good morning. I hear myself. I don't hear myself. Good morning. I think I know why. Okay. Righty. I hear myself. Okay. Good morning. Yeah. Going to share this in a couple of spaces and wait for the algorithm to do its thing to let people know that I am live and I'm going to get started with the content and then be off for the day. Okay. Why I can't share this? I can't share this for some reason. All right. It won't let me share it. Oh, here we go. Here we are. Here we go. Oh no. Why am I going to another person's live video? I don't get that. We're gonna figure this thing out. Okay. All righty. We are almost at the 3-minute mark. And I know the algorithm shares about waiting a few minutes, all that jazz. If you um, are watching live now and not the replay and or on YouTube when it's shared later, I do ask if you would share this. If you are a nonprofit leader right now, I need you to tag a few amazing fellow nonprofit leaders, philanthropists, and we're going to just have a great conversation really about how our passion isn't enough and specifically why nonprofit leaders must get in the room in 2025. So we are going to go ahead and get started. For those who don't know, if you're on my personal page, of course you know, but if you're watching in another space or on LinkedIn later, I am Shanquetta Cunningham, nonprofit strategist. I am not your average consultant. That's my personal tag. Founder of Caris Group Consulting, where we support a nonprofit and mission-based organizations to elevate their income, impact, and influence. I know that those are usually buzzwords in the philanthropic space, but truly, my goal is to share with every nonprofit organization that nonprofit does not mean no profit. Uh, and if I am looking off to the side or anything, my glasses, just bear with me. So, with that, let me also do this. I need to share it in one more place. And we're going to get started with information. So if you know of amazing leaders that need to hear this information about moving beyond their passion, why professional development is important, why it matters for nonprofit leaders to get in community, as we see in the for profit and business space. Nonprofit organizations are organizations that still must integrate business principles of growth, of strategy, of connection. Again, passion isn't enough. And we're going to dive into that and also share why you should get in the room for nonprofit events and workshops and conferences, and specifically the 2025 Nonprofit Summit of NEA that will be happening May 20th uh, here in Jonesboro, Arkansas. And so I'm going to share more in 2 seconds. And I'm going to ensure that I drop the link as well. All right, so let's get started, and so that I can rouse your excitement about attending conferences. I know that I am a professional conference goer and hostess, but getting in the room is truly one of the most significant things that you can do. If you are a nonprofit leader or you're wanting to start a nonprofit organization, or you are a board member, or you volunteer with a nonprofit or a faith-based entity or school, anything of the public sector, and if you are feeling, especially in this time to where you're looking at the news, there's going to be another update of a cut, a slash, a realignment, arrangement, just a lot of uncertainties in the public sector space as it relates from our federal level to our state level. And so if you're feeling stuck in your nonprofit, if you're trying to figure out how are we going to overcome certain funding stream losses, or we're trying to figure out how to build our funding streams and to get income and revenue into our nonprofit. You're feeling isolated, that I need to build community, or the people that I've started with in this journey of philanthropy, and they're retiring, and so how do I rebuild, or how do we rebrand, and what is our need to our what is our I'm sorry, solution to the needs in our community as it relates to our current situation. All of those questions, right, that many of us go through as leaders. And so if this is you, or you're just feeling like I need to reengage my board or attract new board members, I'm just needing community. This is why nonprofit leaders must get in the room in 2025 and attend conferences and elevate in professional development. So, starting a nonprofit organization or leading one, it requires more than saying, well, we're a nonprofit, and moving beyond the fact that we don't need to enhance our skills, our knowledge, you know, become certified in other levels, or get into cohorts and other learning models. And I don't know how that became a thing to where nonprofit organizations and leaders are not as enthusiastic as our for-profit business owners. If the chamber hosts a business event, it's 500 people there. And if there is a nonprofit workshop, and trust me, I conduct them all the time, it's sometimes a struggle to get people into the room for the information that they need. And I think because many nonprofit leaders think that nonprofit organizations it's only about hard work. But here's the reality: your nonprofit needs new knowledge. I have conversations with leaders all the time, and we really start. Well, let me say the conversation is often start if I ask, what do you need to get to the next level? It starts from a place of lack. We don't have enough, instead of here is what we do well, and here is how we need to expand. What are the connections, and who are the connections and the funding sources that we need to align with to get to the next level. So we think about it, uh, educators, doctors, corporate leaders, they're always upgrading their skills. There's always a conference. Why should nonprofit leader and leadership be any different? So if you are not investing in professional development, I am going to share from one nonprofit leader to the next, from a consultant, from a community organizer, from an advocate standpoint, just an overall development uh seeker, that you are holding not only your organization back, but you're holding yourself back as well. Nonprofit organizations need more than passion to get to the next level. So again, if you are joining me live, I would love for you to share this video, share with your organizations and people that you volunteer with. Again, if you're on the board, if you are starting a nonprofit, you are an existing organization, it doesn't matter if you have been in this space for 30 years. In fact, I'm really wanting to pull you in because things have changed so much. And what I see in the South, and especially with rural nonprofits, we are often 10 to 15 years behind the change because we want to keep things as is. Now, your mission and the core of your values, while they may not be negotiable, it should not be negotiable. But learning the new trends and updating your skill level and acquiring new information, that indeed needs to be flexible. And so one of the ways that you can do that, again, will be at the 2025 Nonprofit Summit of NEA that will be on May 20th. I have dropped the link in the chat. And so I'm encouraging you to look into that, but not only this conference, but other conferences, even if you have to go outside of the state of Arkansas, even if you need to come in to the state of Arkansas and attend this conference, nonprofit leaders must get into the groove and into the vein of professional development. So here's another reason why passion must go beyond we must go beyond passion for our nonprofit organization's growth, and that is collaboration is key, especially again in this time where we will see continued funding cuts and shifts in the nonprofit sector from our federal standpoint. The days of doing it alone are over. The way funding is changing, collaboration, collaborative grant seeking, just community building, this is going to be the make or break factor for many organizations. If you know me on a personal level, or even with the nonprofit that I launched in 2018 called Over a Cup Initiative to support Black women entrepreneurs in Arkansas, and this, excuse me, specifically, if I get the word out, Northeast Arkansas, one of our mottos is that we grow better together. And it is absolutely true. Believing that we can do things in silos or wanting to be the only organization, have that as bragging rights, and do not have collaboration, and do not seek when you are working or in an area to where you have similar, or what I call sister missions, organizations that are doing similar work as you, and there is no collaboration for a program or to seek funding, we're going to miss out. I often think about this example. Well, it just came to me today, really not often. Like if you're at a wedding, and I don't know if you've attended a wedding, especially if you're married, seeing other people commit reignite something in you. Because when you get in the room and you see how other people are thriving in an area of interest to you, it somehow sparks a just a new fondness of the place that you are in. And so I get all mushy again for with within my own marriage when you see other people kind of ignite that flame. It reignites something in you. That's the same way when you get into the room with other nonprofit organizations and leaders and you hear their ideas. And it sort of reignites your passion, your mission, sparks new ideas, or even how you can further engage in partnerships. And you can see other opportunities because you witnessed people that are doing the same thing, and it reignites your passion. So relationships matter, and you can't do that by uh, working within your own organization. And even if you feel like you are a leader in your community, or you've had some type of financial success, or again, you're the only, that alone is not enough. And eventually, you're going to find yourself on an island and trying to make relationships that you have rejected or not formed because you were so used to one bubble and one model of leadership. Times are changing. So, nonprofits that thrive will be the ones that are intentional about building community and relationships, and then understanding how to leverage partnerships and relationships. I just got off the phone literally with someone that will be speaking about everyday AI and integrating the everyday AI experience to increase efficiencies in nonprofit organizations. And it's simply because I met her at an event, and heard about her skill level, and I was like, "You know what? You will be a great addition to our, organization, our conference." And simply being in the room and being in proximity, hearing about the passion formed an instant connection, and then I had a call to action within myself. I need to ask. So we have not because we ask not. And getting in the room elevates that ask because you'll see who is the next right connection. As nonprofit organizations, just like leaders in business, they're always asking, how do we better support our customers or better service them? That's why you take surveys, uh, have these experiences with businesses at a greater rate than we do nonprofit organizations, because they're always trying to leverage connections. They're always trying to satisfy their customers. We should want to satisfy our clients, our community, our donors with that same tenacity. So get in the room, surround yourself with people who are making an impact, and you'll see how much further your organization will grow, your own professional development, your skills, your communication, your relationships. You will see that elevate simply by getting in the room. So, my last point I want to make on why nonprofit leaders must get in the room in 2025. You must attend conferences. You must invest in professional development. You must. Is that conferences take you from your day-to-day work and then allows you to elevate to another level of growth. When you are in the trenches, oh, trust me, I get it. Man, when you're in the trenches, it really is it's easy to get just so lost and caught up in the day-to-day operations. And then you start working on the little things that's not generating revenue, that's not making connections, such as writing grants, or uh, taking different meetings, because you are in the heart of service. You are servicing your clients, you're working with your staff, or you're trying to coordinate your volunteers, and you recognize, man, I am in this bubble. And sometimes these are not intentional silos, but then they will become silos, and you can't grow in silos. So attending conferences allows you to step away. You learn about what's in the philanthropic industry, what's trending in AI, and how that matters, because you cannot separate AI growth and what we need to and how we need to incorporate that into our nonprofit leadership and our systems and our uh you know SOPs and all of this and all of these great things. So Miss White, who would be joining us, she said this statement, I wrote it down, that AI is a tool for efficiency to be efficient. And we have been dealing with AI for years, if you've used Grammarly, if you have a fancy uh, car that where the brake stops, or you're looking back and you don't even have to look back now when you are backing out of the parking lot. Yeah, if you with your smartwatch and your predictive text, we have always been using AI, but how do we use that to grow our nonprofit organizations? Attending conferences will allow you to not be afraid of these growing trends in industry, but will take your nonprofit to the next level, because the same way it's making your everyday life easier, it's the same magnitude to which will make your organization's day-to-day life easier as well. Building collaborations. These are things that you have to place yourself in intentional setting. You may be like me now that have different trainings up. I'm telling myself I'm going to get certified with Verizon and LinkedIn. But when you do things on your own, sometimes you're a little slow about it, right? But when you go to a conference, it forces you to be in a space and to be in a room to where you have to learn. So I've seen people walk into a conference struggling with how to grow, are burnt out, are almost ready to throw in the towel and move from either that organization or from the public sector altogether. And then by the end of our time together, I've also had leaders come up to me and they are refreshed and they are joyful because they've made a new funding connection, or they've made, a new they've had a conversation about a potential partnership, and that connection will forever change the trajectory of their nonprofit organization, their impact, their growth. And so you don't know what opportunities you're missing if you're not putting yourself in places where growth happens. And they happen in community, they happen in conferences. So if I've shared anything with you today that resonated with you about moving beyond the passion, about reigniting yourself to learning, and even seeing yourself as a business leader with a heart when it comes down to nonprofit growth and leadership. Well, the 2025 Nonprofit Summit of NEA, held in Jonesboro, Arkansas on May 20th, this is the place where you want to be. This is the place where you need to be. So, what's happening at the summit? We're going to have workshops about the power of nonprofit collaboration, training on how to make your nonprofit attractive to funders. We're going to have sessions on leveraging AI for efficiency and growth. We're going to hear from individuals from grant funding foundations on how you make your organization and your grant application more attractive for grant funding success. Now, I'm going to share with you that once we reach capacity, we will close registration even before our April deadline. So I do not want you to wait. This conference is for the existing nonprofit leader. If you are a startup, if you are in the life cycle of wanting to transition and about to share, or give the reins to another leader, if you are a board member or volunteer, if you are a city leader, because I definitely believe that municipal and local government leaders should be in the space of a nonprofit conference, so that you can understand the issues and then what's trending, and figure out how to leverage this industry with the municipal government to grow nonprofit organizations. Specifically in Arkansas, there are only a few cities that really have a cusp on supporting nonprofit leaders outside of such as CDBG funding. And so this is an opportunity. I'm calling for local government leaders to get in the room as well. I want you to join me and join our wonderful speakers at the 2025 Nonprofit Summit. If you are following the annual Nonprofit Summit page, then you will see just some of our confirmed speakers. That again, that is the annual nonprofit summit of NEA Facebook page. You can also go to the website that is linked in the chat. If you're going to be watching on YouTube, later we'll also have that linked. If you can follow Kara's group, KHARIS, Kara's Group Consulting on Facebook and Kara's Group Official on Instagram. You have multiple ways to register for the conference. If you want to register your team, directly inbox me. I have a special discount for you as well. And again, if you know of any organizations that need to hear this and need to join us for the conference, then I'm encouraging you to share this video because some people need to know, why should I attend an event, an all-day event as a nonprofit leader? Because there is a disconnect, but we want to eliminate that wall and get as many, well, until we reach capacity, all of our nonprofit organizations and leaders into this room, into this space. Also, make sure you're following me for more nonprofit growth strategies. So that's this page on YouTube, on LinkedIn under my name. And I thank you so much. I'm asking you to share this video, tag nonprofit leaders as well, and register for the 2025 Nonprofit Summit. And I will see you in May. You all have an amazing day on purpose. And I am excited for the growth, for elevation in our nonprofit, and how we will transform just simply by getting in the room in 2025. Thank you.